Hi students, so let's have a look at this problem. Solve for x. 6x square plus 17x plus 12 is equal to 0. Now here we see that the coefficient of x square is not 1 but 6. Okay, so the coefficient of the quadratic term is 6. Now in such cases, when the coefficient of the quadratic term or the x square term is not 1, how do we go about solving it? How do we go about solving the quadratic equation? Well, that's what we are going to see now. So the first thing we do is there are actually 4 steps involved here, and we'll go one by one. And this method which we are going to use is called as grouping. So grouping method. There are 4 steps involved. We'll go one by one. The first step involves finding two numbers A and B such that A into B is equal to the product of the coefficient of x square and the constant term. That is, A into B should be equal to 6 into 12, which is 72. I beg your pardon, just give me a second while I erase the unwanted line. Okay. And then also the numbers A and B should be such that A into B is equal to 72 and A plus B should be equal to the coefficient of the linear term, which is 17. Okay, so we have to find such two numbers. So what we'll do is we will first try to find the factors of 72. That is the two numbers which when multiplied will give us 72. And then we will see among them which of the two add up to 17 or which of the pairs adds up to 17. Okay, so let's begin. What are the factors of 72? We have 172. 1 into 72 will give you 72. Then we have 2 and 36 is going to give you 72. 3 and 24 will give you 72. 4 and 18 again is going to give you 72. Now, right off the bat, we see that all of these are not going to add up to 17 because even one of the factors is greater than 17. Here, 18, the last one is greater than 17. So let's go to the next one, 6 and 12. Okay, now 12 is less than 17, but 12 plus 6 is 18. Okay, so that's greater than 17. So it's not this. So 7 is not a factor. What about 8? 8 nines are 72. And 8 plus 9 is 17. Okay, this looks good. So we can stop here. In fact, the next one is going to be 9 and 8 is equal to 72. So it's a repetition. So we will stop here. So 8 and 9 are the two numbers which add up to 17 and when multiplied amongst themselves give us 72. So this is the first step. So we got A is equal to, I'm sorry, the two numbers are, we can say A is equal to 8 and B is equal to 9. Okay, something like that. Now the second step is to split the linear term into two terms. Okay, so that the coefficients of those two terms add up to 17. So let's do it. So 6x square plus 9x plus 8x plus 12. So again, we see this 9 and 8, or 8 and 9, it doesn't matter. You can do it in whichever order you want. Third step is, now after splitting them in the second step like this, the third step is grouping. We group them. So how do we group? We group the first two terms and then like this, and then the last two terms like this. Okay, this is grouping. And finally, the fourth step is factorization. So we factorize each of these grouped terms. So here I can say the common factor is 3x. The highest common factor is 3x. So 3x or 2x plus 3. This is how I factorize the first group. And the second group is factorized like this. 2x plus 3. So you get 8x plus 4 3s are 12. And here you get 6x square plus 9x. So we have factorized it like this. And you see that 2x plus 3 is common to both the groups. So we can take it out or once again factorize it. So we can take it out. So we are then left with 3x plus 4. Okay. So we have 2x plus 3 and 3x plus 4. Of course, all of these should be equated to 0 because we are dealing with a quadratic equation and not a quadratic expression. Now, from here, we go and try to solve it. So let's write it once again. And we can use the same common brackets, or you can write it like this as I've done to indicate the factorization process, or you use the same type of brackets now. So then we first equate 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, the zero product property, we use that. So then 2x should be equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 3 by 2. So what is the zero product property? It says that if x and y are two numbers and if they are multiplied together, the result is 0, that is, if x and y, if the product of x and y is equal to 0, then either x is equal to 0 or y is equal to 0, or even both can be equal to 0. This is called as the zero product property. If x and y are multiplied together and the result is 0, either one of them or both of them should be equal to 0. Here we can say this is x and this is y. So that's why we equate x equal to 0. Now we are equating the second term denoted by y to 0. So that is 3x plus 4 is equal to 0. 3x is equal to minus 4. X is equal to minus 4 by 3. So x is equal to minus 3 by 2 and x is equal to minus 4 by 3 are the answers for x. These are the two zeros of x, or the two roots of, these are the two zeros of this equation. Okay, we can call them the two zeros of the equation. Why? Because if you plug in these values, you will get 0 as the answer. So x is equal to minus 3 by 2 is a 0 of the equation, and x is equal to minus 4 by 3 is a 0 of the equation. Or we can say these two are the roots of x for this equation. Okay, they are the solutions for the equation again, because if you plug in minus 3 by 2 or minus 4 by 3 in the place of x, this equation will hold true. LHS will be equal to RHS, and once you are done with substituting for x on the LHS, the RHS will be 0 and LHS will also be 0. You will get 0 basically. If you substitute these two numbers for x, you will get 0 as the answer. I hope this is clear to you now. Thank you, my friends. Bye.